We're about to watch a wonderful, wonderful example of a restoration on a creature from the Black Lagoon, which has been beautifully workshopped by Davey. Just before the video starts, just wanted to do a little introduction just to apologise for the sound quality. We had some errors with the mics. We didn't understand and didn't know that had happened until we got the footage back home, at which point it was obviously too late to go and do it again. And nor would I want to, because the pictures on this, as you will see, really do the restoration an enormous amount of justice, even if the sound doesn't. Apologies, won't happen next time. We've fixed the problem. We know what the problem is. And just a massive thank you to Davey for hosting us at his house and allowing us to film this wonderful machine. Hope you enjoy it. This is a machine that I've been looking to feature on the channel for quite some time. I saw this machine a few years ago now, when the person responsible for this overhaul and, well, metamorphosis, if you like, really, was just working on the underside of the playfield. It was in bits, and it's a real pleasure to feature this. What I've really been looking to do on the channel is to have just in this particular section is have exceptional machines, and this certainly falls into that category. You've seen the Whitewater. We're featuring this creature from the Black Lagoon now, and we hopefully will be able to feature Ants T2 at some point in the future. I just want to get into exactly everything that's been done on here. This has been, I think it's fair to say, modified massively, but also there's been a lot of innovation on this game. I've got Davey here, who will know a lot more about it than I do, who's responsible for this. Mate, a stunning machine.
Thanks, mate. We like it. Yeah.
Why creature? Before we get into the small detail.
Well, look, I mean, I've always liked creature. It's one of the first games that I sort of played ever, and got really into pinball as a result of it. I love the look and the feel of the, like the old school horror sort of Hollywood aspects. I love all the graphics, and I love Creech himself. I just think it's a really good looking game.
It is, out of the box, it's a gorgeous looking game.
Yeah,
anyway.
The greens and the blacks and stuff, really set it off, I think.
Yeah. When did you realise that you were going to go to the extreme lengths that you did?
I don't think you ever truly realise, do you? You're sort of just you're halfway through it, and you just keep going and going and going before you realise what's happened. You've you spent $5,000 and you don't know which way's up. But it originally was never even going to be a pinball machine properly. It was going to be a V-pin. So I bought it off.
The cabinet was.
Yeah. So I bought it off eBay for 200 quid, and it was like toast. It was absolutely destroyed. Didn't have any of the boards. Didn't have the back glass or the speaker panel. It literally just had the cabinet, all the mechs and the playfield, but they were all rusted. The playfield was toast and warped, and it had water damage. It had sat in somebody's shed for 5 years. The cabinet itself was destroyed. So in my mind, all I was going to do was just strip it out. I just wanted it for the cabinet, really, and repair what I could, just patch it up, and then stick all the V-pin components in it, which I did. But then, of course, you realise that that's never enough, is it? And so,
no.
So I sort of got it into my head initially that I was going to rebuild it as a pinball machine, but convert it into a different game. Obviously, I had absolutely no technical skills at that point to actually achieve that goal. But so I quickly morphed that plan into rebuilding it into the original game, back into Creature again.
Well, it looks absolutely stunning, but by all means, Spence, go and just, while we talk, put the camera over it. So it's a new playfield, David?
It's not a new playfield, second-hand playfield. That came from Chris B. He was working on somebody else's Creech, and they wanted a brand new playfield. But Chris said, the old one that he pulled out of their game was almost perfect. So it's got a couple of slight issues with it, but in comparison to the one that I was going to restore, it's about 1 million times nicer. So I just kept that one in. It's got a couple of little things like sort of slightly raised inserts around the film things here. A couple of the inserts are a little bit ghosted and stuff, but honestly, you have to look for it to see those imperfections. So I was perfectly happy with that.
Yeah, well, it does look. I mean, I wouldn't have noticed unless even
exactly.
then I've not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
sometimes the ball hits them and sort of
Sure.
rolls off in one direction. But look, the same thing happens on all creatures anyway around this window anyway.
Sure.
So it's kind of like I sort of see it as a bit of a it's just part of the game.
I
bit
agree.
Of a charm.
Is this new? Because every time I've seen those, they're scratched up. This glass here.
Let's see. Yes, that is new. Yes, I did buy that new, I think, from memory. I mean, they always go a bit sort of ghosted anyway after the ball rolls over them a couple of times. But those decals are new on the inside there. So much of it's new. I mean, the plastics are all new. The ramps I kept. They came off somebody else's game. The ones that were in the original game were just yellowed and warped, so I couldn't use those. But these came out of somebody else's creech because he was breaking it down. So I got them off him, and I got a whole bunch of other bits off him as well, thankfully. Somebody alerted to me that he was breaking down his playfield and selling off the parts, and so I quickly got in contact with him and just said I'll take the lot, including the transformer, which he kindly sent to me. Which kind of been fun to package up and send through the mail, but he did it.
Fair play to him. He did that. I'm sort of noticing, even when Spence put the camera here, even this is powder coated, this ramp.
Yeah, the ramps and even the wire forms are beautifully powder coated.
Do you know what? To be honest, I mean, they look lovely. I would have preferred them to be a little bit lighter. Like what I was going for was kind of like a watery effect.
Sure.
And they look nice, but probably not quite as bright as I was intending.
What I want to just, before we get into more detail, we'll deal with the lollipops more and the lighting in detail on the Chinwag, which I think will probably be episode 39 if I'm counting correctly.
Sure.
What I do want to point out here is some of the small detail here. So, for instance, this washer here, it's an anodised washer.
Yeah. Which obviously needs to be screwed down and inside, doesn't it? I had those out last night.
They all are here, and the attention to detail, because obviously a big feature of this game is it's pinks and it's greens and it's a lot of pastel colours in it. That really ties in. And actually, I can see you've done all the rubbers, the post rubbers here. They're in the pink. I remember you getting these, and even
because we were talking about it, weren't we? And it was Ivy's decision in the end to go with pink.
And she was right.
Yeah, I think so. I think they go in nicely. What was I going to go? I think I had green. I think I had pink, and I was tossing up between green and pink. But I'm glad she went pink because it does match the theme.
It really
that
does.
I chose a bit better.
It really does, and there's so much of the pink, even just in the sort of sides here. You can see it in the plastics there, but also just look at the anodised the bolts there. There's just so many, and even that's a colour. That's a sort of, you've got the turquoise there, which of course is prevalent within the theme. The small detail here, the post lights, which I love, which I'm pretty sure, again, we'll discuss that.
Do you want to know one stupid detail
I do.
that nobody has ever noticed? It was such a waste of time, and I spent so much time and effort doing it. See if you can spot them in here. Okay, so these little spaces in here, they're anodised as well.
Just under there.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
He's right. It's anodised in a sort of turquoise.
Yeah. What a stupid detail. See, this is the level of craziness that you go to sometimes. Like the hours I spent organising those spaces. And they weren't expensive, but they were hard to find, like in the right size. I had to drill them out myself because they only came threaded. And obviously, the thread was the wrong thread, But anyway.
Okay, should we just say now that you're not selling this?
No, it'll never be sold.
So let's just get that out of the way now.
Yeah. It's going to Ivy when I pass on, she reckons.
Well, why not?
She's planning ahead then.
Oh, yeah. By miles, They both
Ruthless.
They both earmarked all my stuff.
Little thing here, Spence. A very, very minor thing, but we're going to see a lot more of this when we get there. Just behind this sign here, you'll see that there's a braid. See this cabling there is braided. Now
we love braided cables.
Braided cables. There's another one here.
I did notice when the Translight came off the back, everything in the head there is beautifully braided.
Well, this is something I really do want to have a look at, which is under the Playfield. Now, you've obviously installed the big screen on it, which again Spencer did a video on that on his Theatre of Magic, which it really brings it to life. Tell us about the artwork around it, please, Davey. How did this? Because this is obviously not a standard bit of kit, because the standard one was made for a normal size D&D.
Yeah, so I convert those manually just in Photoshop to fit the wider displays.
Yeah.
So each one, and Creature's a difficult one, because obviously if it's just a sort of a standard pattern, like Whitewater for instance, Whitewater's just got some stars over the speakers. And a design down here, and so that's really easy. You just sort of shrink them down or expand them out, and just make sure that you're not losing resolution and stuff. But when it comes to a design like this one that has really detailed imagery in it, you have to go to a lot of effort to make sure that that imagery looks right when it's converted to this format.
Sure.
So all of these signs have to be changed. Even now you can sort of see that some of the starlight's been cut off around here. The fence has to be extended. This one was one of the hardest ones to do.
Okay, well, you just use a clone tool or something to extend that, did you?
I'm not telling my
The course you There you go.
Yeah, Chris the Photoshop wizard.
I do a little bit of cloning. There's another great tool that I'm not going to be able to remember now when I'm put on the spot. But basically, it'll do an auto fill based on the surrounding
the magic
area.
brush that does it all for you.
Yeah,
you know the
put
one.
it on the magic brush.
We've made it sound more grand than it is. Clearly, it was about 2 seconds worth of work.
I've been using. I've never been taught how to use Photoshop, but I've been using it for many years, and so. You sort of develop certain techniques from sending your friends memes when you should be working.
This is true. This is true. Photoshopping someone's head on a body, it doesn't really belong.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've done
that's
lots of that. But myself and Spencer were doing that about 30 years ago, haven't we, Spence?
Very, very much
Tell us about the apron.
The apron. So originally I was going to do the apron in green. And I decided against that in the end, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I left it black because it looks better in black. Or I was going to do it blue or something anyway. But so these stickers are hard to get, and when you do get them, they don't tend to be the right colour.
Yeah.
So again, this is another one of the stupid things that you do. You decide that it has to be neon green.
Yes.
It has to be neon green. And so I printed the stickers myself, and then made a screen, like a silk screen, with just the green bits on it, and then put the stickers underneath the screen painted the right neon ink over the top, which ended up then being this neon green colour. So many hours spent just getting the right
neon green.
You haven't actually got too much time.
At that point I did, I'd probably never go to the same level of effort.
I remember you telling me about this, that the effect is quite stunning, actually.
Yeah,
quite stunning.
I'm really glad that I did, because they do look fantastic. They do look neon, and it's an unprintable colour. You can't digitally print neon green.
Probably gonna look at that. This side artwork as well.
Yeah, and again, these decals come from PPS, and they screen these ones. And again, you can't buy Creature, or I suppose any, because Party Zone and things like that, they all used a neon ink when they screen printed them. So anyone who's digitally printing, as far as I'm aware, can't print in these colours, just because you can't purchase neon colours for digital printing. I mean, somebody with a lot more digital printing experience than me might be able to pipe up and tell us that is inaccurate, but as far as I'm aware, that's the case. They have to be screen printed.
Talking about printing, if Davey comes this way,
yes, mate.
You might want to go and look on the back of that back box.
Oh yeah, should we pull it out a little bit?
Let's see if he might be able to get the angle.
See if the gimbal can handle it.
There.
Let me get it. Oh,
how good is that? That was really a labour of love. You scrapped the first time you screen printed the back, you scrapped it, and then you went back and did it again.
Yeah, and I think as I was saying in the last chinwag, it's still not bright enough. But it was the first one I'd done.
Sure.
And since then I've become a bit better at sort of, and mostly it's down to which ink you choose. Like as long as you choose the right colour ink, it'll come out really nice. And it's a bit technique as well, but you quite quickly work that out. Screen printing seems like a real sort of black art. you know, and something that you'd never be capable of doing. But once you have a couple of goes at it, it's a very doable thing. And really great fun too. You know, there's something very organic about screen printing. It sort of takes you back to high school, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, no, I remember doing T-shirts in school, and I can remember the process. It must have been good fun doing it.
Yeah, it's really great. So I think I said that in the Chinway last time. You know, it's getting the screens is a little bit difficult. You have to order them from the States or make your own. But there's plenty of people in the UK who have got them now. I've got them. I think maybe Rude Dog has got one as well.
Sure.
And we'd be more than happy to lend them out to people if they want to have a go themselves.
Well, Spencer's very excited about it. I remember him, he's so old that when they invented the printing press, he got particularly excited.
Oh, Caxton and his press. God, I can remember when that happened. Didn't reading suddenly become popular?
Happy days.
Until then we had to copy it all out by hand.
Yeah, I remember I told him they were rebuilding Big Ben. He said, not again.
Yeah.
Tell us about the snack bar mod.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This is, I think we might need to...
Swinks, Mr. JD Swinkles from Australia. So this is here there he goes, he's popping on now. So Swinks designed this snack bar mod, you know, before my time really.
Yeah.
And it's been hugely popular. He's sold a lot of those.
It's beautiful. Really adds to the game.
Really, really nice. Miles better than the plastic that's on there originally. And I installed it and loved it, but just thought to myself, you know, wouldn't it be great if the snack bar sign lit up like a proper neon snack bar sign from the...
But it's like it's that faulty neon glitch that they have, isn't it? Where they flicker.
Yeah.
It's
it
great.
took me a while to design that flicker in. I think I need to turn the game on in order to sort of show it.
Well, if you
properly.
don't mind, we'll have a quick game in a second.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And then we'll
I can show you
Playfield up afterwards.
Show you the snack bar at that point. But yeah, so I sort of talked to him about it and said, would you mind if I, you know, built something for it? And you know, luckily, it was something that he'd already thought of, but didn't really have the skills to do it. He's sort of like, you know, he's more design, sort of technical industrial design sort of fella. So, you know, fortuitously, he was about to do another run of the snack bar, and he said, you know, could you get something ready for that, and we'll sort of promo and release them together. So we did, and it's been really popular. You know, still selling units of them now.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah.
Has he got one now? Has he got?
He does. Yeah, I sent one over to him. Of course.
Yeah.
Didn't charge him. You know,
not much.
I gave him a small discount.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only fair. It's only fair. I think it's absolutely lovely. We'll have a look under the playfield in a second. Sorry, Spencer.
I was about to say, I'm really looking forward. I know it's incredibly nerdy, but I want to get that playfield up and have a look.
No, so do I. It's weird to say it's my favourite bit, but it sort of is. Yeah. That being said, I do want to get a bit of gameplay on here. Yep. Would you talk me through if I have a quick game? If you talk me through it,
how to play?
I'd really like to as well to try and get the hologram up. So the creature appears, which I understand is dependent on my pinballing skills. Which
we'll just do a Benny Hill fast forward and pretend that you got there.
Yeah, we'll put a bit of yakety sax on there.
Right, so I'm going to press start here. Yeah, we're all ready to go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So just explain what am I doing here?
Okay. Well, there's 4 things that you need to achieve before you can see your creature hologram.
Okay.
Which is the Multiball Start.
Okay.
And the 4 things are the F, the I, the L, the M in film.
Yeah.
So the F is to complete the KISS lights here.
Yes.
You can complete them on your skill shot if you basically wait until S is lit and then do a full plunge all the way around. And if whichever letter it's on when the ball comes around there, you'll collect that many of KISS. So you can collect it on your first shot. And then if you're really clever, you can hit it up to the slide shot off the left flipper, so it'll come off KISS straight into the slide, and then you'll collect double. The slide shot there is, where is it, M. So that'll be F and M collected automatically. And then 1 is opening the snack bar, which is either hitting all of these targets or hitting the scoop.
Okay.
Both of them will collect one of these targets. So that's I. And then paid is the top rollovers. So once you do all of those 4 things, simple for a man like you.
I'll do it. I'll probably do it in one shot, Davey. If I'm honest.
That really is a skill shot, isn't it?
Yeah. I got this. Here we go. Okay.
Okay, so you got one more to collect on Kiss. You get that back.
It is a ball save, yeah?
Yeah, it's a ball save, yeah.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Okay, so that's one target collected on snack bar. That's two targets collected on snack bar.
Oh, I nearly got the scoop there.
So scoop will be easier off the left flipper. It's doable off the right flipper, but far easier on the left.
Okay, whoops.
So on your next shot, you can either make a decision to collect that last header on Kiss or try for the top rollovers instead.
I actually did that most wonderful of skills of moving it away from what I was aiming for.
You'll probably
Please,
get that back.
so thank you very much.
No, didn't get it.
Oh no, this is a terrible. We may have to.
Should we just collect a couple of letters for you?
No. I think that would be cheating, which I don't mind doing.
So you've just collected
scoop.
Kiss.
And I got a scoop.
And you got a scoop. So
I've got a bit of reflection off that screen, I have to say.
Well, that's what's causing me difficulty, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I looking to hit here?
Okay, so probably you could send it up this middle ramp here, and then that'll get you back up to paid.
Come on now.
Okay, that's good. That's another. Oh, hang on. So now you've collected snack bar. Okay, so that's fine. So all we need to do now is we need to get an up slide here. We're in a different mode here, so that's hitting the left ramp for unlimited millions, but which is good for points, but
oh no,
not as good if we're trying to get to
absolutely.
creature.
Well, I think what we better do is let Davey have a
Okay.
quick
All right, let's see how
Let the master on that.
No pressure.
Chris, if you can just shut that door for me, that will cut out some of the
be
reflections. Oh, that's better.
So that's the double, but I missed on Kiss. So giving it a little jog means you can live
very
catch it.
Nice.
Very nice. This is how it's done.
I'll try and...
There's some lovely colours on that screen there.
I know when I did the recording for theatre, because you're videoing the screen, it doesn't always pick it up, but I can assure you it does look stunning.
Oh, thanks, mate. They do look really good. I've had a lot of people sort of who were at Pinball Republic the other day contact me after being there, saying that they've seen the Twilight Zone one, the Fishtails one that's there, and had a lot of people coming back and asking for one after that trip.
Well, if you've not seen it, go and check out the video Spencer did on one of our it's really good. The screen makes such a difference.
There's a failed live catch there. Alright.
Well, I feel you're further along than I ever was, so that's a good thing.
So if I'm over here, so I vote Kiss, the Kiss light isn't working at the moment. So I've collected everything except for the snack bar. Snack bar's easier on the left flipper.
Okay.
So a nice little trick is backhanding that ramp and then hitting the snack bar, which I just missed. So you can do it from here too. There we go. Oh, I missed it. Okay, so now we got move your car, which is the best way to score points if you're in a comp, really. And that's just keep hitting that. And you'll keep telling him to move his car, and he'll get more and more angry as the mode goes on.
He's got a rocket launcher.
Got a rocket launcher now. Let's see if I can get to the jet. There we go. Oh no, flamethrower, then jet. Oh no. One more to try and get it. Yeah, there we go, the jet.
makes such a difference, that big screen there.
It's lovely, isn't it? Uh-oh. God damn. Flailing. Okay, there we go, snack bar's open. Okay, now, we got the 2 flashing lights over here.
Yeah.
All the letters are collected. Hitting either of those shots will then start multi-ball.
Which will then bring a creature
Which will then bring
up
creature up
So
there.
if I do get
okay.
that, then
Yeah.
I'd almost angle that down to
It'll
just...
also...
yeah, just in...
so
just,
no pressure on hitting
no,
this shot.
no,
Okay.
you might, yeah.
Make the shot.
Ah, I just missed it. I'll try and do the other side. Nope. There we go.
What's going to happen in there?
Okay, ready? So everything should start up as soon as I start. Maybe so
I've not seen anything in the
I think
in the pond yet.
memory. So now I can restart multi-ball hopefully. I think you actually have to find creature before it starts.
Okay. Chris, you keep an eye on that. Let me know if it does anything.
Start.
Hang on, he's got his hands in there.
Somewhere we've
Here we go.
seen this
Try
from
again.
Andy many a time.
Andy does this all the
Why
time.
shouldn't Davey do
Maybe
it?
that should start up. Maybe that's a failure. Well, maybe we'll cut to that.
Yeah, yeah, we can cut to that.
Hang on, let's see if I find creature. Oh, there we
It's
go.
nice
There
to
you go,
see.
there you go.
Nice to see some Andy skills going on there. That's fantastic.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, it's a hologram, isn't it?
These lights are something that we created as well, so they're not part of the original game.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
really cool.
He is very cool. I have to
nice.
say that you're doing a very good job considering I'm blocking most of your view with it.
Yeah, right in the way.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I was really pleased to see that there. And can you see the way when it was hitting the slingshots that actually the post lights are spiralling? You see that? They're like a fairground ride. These post lights,
Yeah, okay, I see.
spiraling round.
Wow.
Isn't it great?
That's a really nice effect, actually.
Well, I
really
think
nice.
this is all part of what Davey's going to be explaining in the chinwag with the system that is created there.
There we go.
Great, there you go. That's fantastic. There we go.
An extra ball just
Extra
to
ball.
finish things off.
Well, you know what? That's. I mean, we just really wanted to demonstrate
Yeah.
the lights there, and in particular the creature. I think it's probably time to have a look under the playfield, my friend.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's turn it off.
Are you not feeling dangerous then?
Yeah. Not feeling down. Well, I would be usually. The thing about Creech, and I'm pretty sure that it's with all WPC games of this era, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. Yeah, what I might do.
You're going to pop them all out?
Yeah, I'll pop them all out. But what I might do is I'll grab my fancy protectors as well, so I don't.
Oh, we like it. Quite right too.
Yeah, so that we don't screw up the mirror blades on the side. These are great things. If nobody's got these at home but they've got mirror blades, I would thoroughly recommend picking some up.
Yeah, I've seen. They're very, very good. Very,
Really
very good.
I mean, look, it's a bit of a hassle to, particularly on games like this where it is so tight. It can be a bit of a hassle to install every time you need to pull the playfield up, and I get the playfield up a lot. So.
Do you know what? It's one of those
Balls
things,
aren't all
though.
out there.
You
I'll
whinge
get them
about
out
the
now.
hassle, but if you scratch them,
know.
you're just going to wish you'd done it.
I know, exactly. So they're definitely a worthwhile thing to have. Okay.
Okay. Spencer, may I present to you the most OCD.
Now, first things first, I've got a hanging lollipops board here.
Yeah.
Because as I was explaining to the guys earlier, I've been in the trenches, debugging the latest version of this board. And so this is the old one here. This one will be mounted here, but it's not at the moment. So
it's all right. You've made a valid excuse, and we'll take it at face value. It's absolutely fine.
Can I just point something out here? The cable ties are colour coded. Now, this is the thing. There's a lot to admire on this machine, but
you're going to have to point this to. Bearing in mind I'm colourblind, so I want to know all the details.
Okay, basically these are purple. They're a sort of mauve that ties in with the theme of the game. This clip here is the same as well. This hosing here is the same colour. Just keeping everything together.
Okay. I'm loving the braiding. I'm gonna just pan over to this power supply because I love a braided power supply.
I'm surprised he's not painted this purple.
Yeah, amateur.
Actually, yes,
what an amateur.
You should get a cover for
I did paint it black.
Yes,
this is a new sticker as well on top.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's got a new sticker.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Got those printed. What did
And you said you're married, yeah?
No. How she puts up with me, I have no idea.
Can I just say, these here, the bolts on this side are anodised as well. No one will ever see those. Well,
so stupid.
Well, actually, lots of people.
I think we might have to up the ISO. Do you want to just pop the ISO up on that, Chris, so we can see that more clearly?
I'm trying to remember how to work my own camera, actually.
From upside down?
From upside down. How crazy is that?
That's it. Other way. No, other way. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. Brilliant. Now we can see.
Okay.
Into the depths.
Okay. The depths of the creature.
Well, that has got to be the tidiest bob I've ever seen. Look at that. That's very clean in there.
It's a beautiful bob.
And everything's labelled.
Oh, not
know,
inspected. Look at this.
Yeah.
I'll have to turn the ISO down for that in a second. It says inspected by Stumblor.
Let me just have a good old root around in here.
You can actually probably drop that camera down, then push it up.
I will do.
Just to find all of the fluff that I've pushed towards the back of the machine.
Before
this interview.
This morning.
I did. Last night at midnight.
Sounds like talk to me.
What I'm doing at the moment is the equivalent of running my finger along the top of the door frame just to see if he really has.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to drop that ISO back down for me, Chris, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's got new.
3.2.
I did label all of these connections. Probably because it was at a time when I probably didn't know the inside of a machine that well, so I wanted to make sure I knew where everything was going. Whereas now I can sort of pretty much do it, blindfolded. But yeah, we've got new decals here that show the game.
This is why we had to do this video. This is very impressive. This is called. Sorry, I'm jumping. This is called a Rippler.
A Rippler.
Anything that's called a Rippler. As I think my Aussie accent's better than yours.
It's not bad.
Cheers.
It's pretty good. Yeah, mine's fake. So
yeah, I know.
I don't know what yours is.
Anything that is called the Rippler's got to be good.
Yeah, I like that too, Chris.
That's great.
Yeah,
that is great.
I don't feel like people give me enough credit for my names. You know,
in Australian, it should really be called the Rippo.
This one got a name.
The lollipops. That's the lollipops.
That's the lollipops. So
this is the Chase Echo, which nobody's actually ever picked me up on the reference of the Chase Echo, but the name is a take on the Space Echo, which is a really famous tape-based echo from the 60s or 70s, made by Roland, which is like this big green box thing, box called a Space Echo. But I've done the logo to be, they sort of joined up the E on the Echo, just like the Space Echo.
I'm not surprised nobody's picked up on it. I thought it was a reference to Chase Manhattan Bank. There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty oblique, I've got to say. And now that I've mentioned that, Roland will probably be sending me a cease and desist letter tomorrow.
I know there are a lot of clean undersides to Playfields out there, but this is pretty good.
Pretty clean. It's always good to, because this is a second-hand Playfield, it's always good to give them a sand on the underside before you stick everything back on.
I'm surprised you haven't varnished the bottom.
I have seen people who have.
He's varnished his own bottom, just not the plate. What does the Rippler do?
That's so you know the lights around Creature?
Yes, on the ramp thing.
Sorry. On the hologram.
Yes.
Yeah. So it basically, so So the space where that board originally, there was a board originally there, and when the hologram comes on a stock game, two things happen. One, this little light box here shines a light onto the mirror. Amazing. And the mirror moves to make Creech looks like he's moving like that and move the hologram. The second thing that happens is that there'll be a motor attached here that will send a little thing down and push this hologram up like this.
Warp it a little bit.
Warp it a little bit. And most people pull it out because they're like, why would I want a little motor pushing my 300 quid minimum hologram, or irreplaceable in some cases? Yeah. So most people rip it out. So I use all that wiring that was controlling this motor to instead, fire off a LED strip that gives a ripple effect.
You can't get these holograms anymore?
I don't think you can at the moment. Henrik from Pinball Dreams makes a remake of it, but I think it was like so much effort and it didn't get received that well because it was slightly different than the original.
I think somebody makes an effort like that. You're like,
honestly.
It's not 100% right. We don't want it, that.
And I've got one in here, and it's beautiful and perfect. But because his eyes don't quite look the same, people are like, it's not the same.
Oh, honestly.
Whereas, and he's a lovely dude, Henrik. So I hope he does more of them. I really.
Well, big shout out to Henrik in that case. You crack on, son.
Absolutely.
He's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, good old Henrik. Right, okay, let's. Sorry, it sounded sarcastic. I meant it. I'm serious, Henrik. Honestly.
Good Lord, Chris. Come on, that's not nice.
With sincerity,
Henrik's going to be in the comment section, just going, "What up with that, Chris?
Really good work, mate." I'm joking. Should we pull the rippler down and have a look in the back box? I feel it wouldn't be a complete tour without doing that. I just want the credit to be there. As he flipped this out, there was more colour-coded braiding and hosing, or whatever it's called.
And I screen printed him as well, the back.
Oh dear God.
Just add more
this is what I want to know. Please, if we've forgotten anything, please let us know.
So much stuff.
Which bit did you screen print?
So you can see Creature's
just
head
that,
and the leaves, and there's a little lizard.
They weren't the right green. Is that right?
They weren't the right.
I knew it. They weren't the right green.
No. So of course you have to.
I know. Yeah,
you've got to get it right because
you can't have the wrong green.
It's a very important part of the game.
Yes.
So, backboard. Okay, let's hope.
Spencer, just while Davey's opening that back box, just the legs as well. Just want to make sure that these look stunning. The bolts on here with this sort of lizard skin powder coating effect.
It's a hammered finish, isn't it? It's a bit like hammerite type finish.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
I think we can share where that powder's from. I think we mentioned it the last Chinwag as well, but it's prismatic. Okay. And anybody, there's a lot of people who do a lot of powder coating, and a lot, prismatic gets a lot of, good press because they really do produce fantastic powder.
Sure.
And there's some places that will have it in stock. Otherwise, you order it from the States. But I mean, when you get results like this,
it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I mean, it has just given it that full lizard effect there, which is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
This is a CPR mirrored back glass. Which I mean, these back glasses they sort of they can vary between games.
As a mirror.
It is mirrored.
I think for this one,
if I pick it up
from this angle, you can really see the mirror.
Can you see me in it, Spence?
Unfortunately, yes, mate.
I did give it a polish.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, the mirror's fine. The picture's awful. Yeah.
Right, let's pull him up. This is the point where I smash it accidentally by putting it on the ground.
Oh, we got it on film, mate. So
you kept some original bowls in there.
Yes. Why did I do that?
Yes.
I can't remember why I did that.
I'll ask the questions. Thank you. So you've got some original bowls in there. Why did you do that?
I'm not. A very important reason, Chris, and that is that I had run out of the big cards.
Excellent.
At the time, so I just reused them.
I know, it's perfectly valid.
Yeah. And I've never been bothered to change them. That's the truth of it. These are comets. I use comets everywhere. It's comets all through here. Pinks and ice blues tend to be my favourites. I know a lot of people scoff at using coloured in the GI. I'm a big fan of.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. As long as it's not grotesque. And I think as long as you're keeping within the hues of the game and you're enhancing the original game, then absolutely fine. I mean, obviously everybody's seen some horror stories of people putting every colour under the sun all through the game.
I haven't. I'd like to see some of that stuff.
You should come round to my house.
Jump on.
Yes, Spencer's colourblind.
There's a thread on Pinside called Clown Puke GI Fails or something like that. And that's full of them.
Sounds like a video.
I'm pretty sure my games would probably appear on there.
No, I bet they bloody wouldn't. Oh my words.
Yeah, here we go.
Pristine. Right, okay. Are these all new? That's a new board. The whole board is new.
Rotten Dog Power Board and a Rotten Dog MPU. They were new primarily just because at the time I didn't have replacements for them. As I said, like none of the boards were any. I had to source all of these new. This is a pin LED DMD board, and they're original WPC boards. As people have sort of probably alluded to in threads and stuff, different opinions about the Rotten Dog boards. James from Majestic reckons they're rubbish. I've had no problem with the MPU one. This one I had to change all the transistors out because they were just failing consistently, and I think that's a general problem with these ones. But since doing that, I've had zero problems with them, and they've served me very well.
Again, I mean, this is firstly, it just all looks so neat and tidy to me.
Just
a heart attack there.
Get in there and have a little look.
What's this then?
So these are Afterglow boards. That's an Afterglow GI, which manages the fading of the GI.
Okay.
Games of a certain era and upwards had a lot of GI fading effects.
Just turn it ISO up on that, Spence.
Yeah, I have done it.
I know you have. It looks like ISO. It's fine. There you go.
Let me go.
They have a lot of GI fading effects.
Yeah.
And when you put LEDs in those kind of games, they flicker when the GI fades like that. So people either turn it off altogether in the settings, or they install one of these, either an LED OCD GI or an Afterglow GI, and that just makes it fade.
Is it called an OCD GI?
OCD GI.
That's it.
Yeah,
like that.
it is.
Well, there you
go. It really is.
Attention to detail. It's all about the detail.
Yeah.
And then the stock Afterglow manages the inserts so that they fade in a way that's more reflective of how incandescents turn on and off. Because an incandescent won't be like on off. It'll sort of glow down and glow up as they turn on and off. Whereas LEDs are like either on or off, and it'll be a very stark difference and a little bit harsh on the eyes. So these boards just
massive attention to detail. It really is. I am fixated by the braiding. There's more braiding on there than Rapunzel on Plait Your Hair Day.
Good. Were you thinking of that metaphor for a while?
No. It was either that or it's got more braiding than Lewis Hamilton's wig. It's real hair.
It's real hair. It's very on point considering the season's just started again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, I was in the shed for many hours doing that braiding and hating myself because once you start, you're like, well.
Once you start making a wiring,
so I have to do all of it.
Yeah.
It's when your daughter says, "Daddy, can you do me a plait?" No, Daddy doesn't do that sort of thing.
I don't braid
anything.
Daddy, when I said, "Can you braid my hair?" This isn't exactly what I had in mind.
I'm just practicing, darling. I'm just practicing.
I've only got purple clips, darling.
And the kids colour coded though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the hair bubble.
Of course.
Where's your purple hair bubble?
Yeah. I've got to school.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's my shoes? I'm just bringing them back from the powder coaters. Because a lovely lizard finish on them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I really, I went to town on these ones, and I mean, it wasn't my idea. I just saw some guy. I think it was a fun house.
Yeah.
And he'd done his transformer with the braiding, and I thought it was really flash because it sort of looked like when you open up a really nice PC, and the PSU in it's got all the nice braiding and it's all connected.
I can't believe that you're blaming some guy that you saw.
The thing is, Davey's taken it to a whole new level. Before we started filming, I had to go and use the toilet, and the pull cord in his toilet's actually braided. Funny enough, with little purple cable ties and a creature on the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, all of my terrible and good ideas all originate from Pinside in one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, look, mate, we love it, and thank you so much for sharing this with us. I've been really looking forward to getting this on camera and actually seeing the finished one. It's turned out, the moment I saw the underside of that Playfield in the summer house or whatever it is there, all that time ago, I knew it was going to turn out to be something spectacular, and it is. It's a pleasure. Be a pleasure to feature it on the channel. As long as Spencer's pressed record, of course.
Well, you can always do
no. Yeah. Mate.
Thanks, Chris.
Superstar.
Always great to see you.
Excellent. Thanks for filming, Spence.
Thanks,
no worries.
Nice one.